So what's going on, guys? A little nicer today. Little blue skies there. Not as much rain today. It's gonna be up in the almost to the 80s today. So I got the ambush doctor's appointment yesterday. I wasn't really planning on going to the doctor's. I had pretty much planned the week out to do some turbine painting and stuff like that and finish this motor up, and the doctors weren't really in the plan. You guys know a couple weeks ago I went to the hospital. I had some real bad swelling on my rib, and they thought it was a muscle or something and told me to go to a family physician. So I finally got to a family physician yesterday, and she's a really good doctor. They did a bunch of tests, and I went to the hospital and got some scans done, and I do have a tumor, and it's pretty good size. I got to see it yesterday for the first time. It's all it's attached into the muscle on my rib cage there, and you know, they're going to try to shrink it down, and they can't shrink it. They'll have to take it out. So they'll try to shrink it first and see how that works. And I'm going to keep pushing the record button. I'm not going to let this beat me. You know, I'm going to fight through this. And yeah, we'll just see what comes from it. So I'll know more in the next couple weeks. I'll get the report from yesterday in a day or two. And we'll have a game plan to attack this stuff. You know, I'm not going to let this win. So I got to see it. I don't know, I got to come up with a name for the little bastard, and I'm going to get rid of it if I got to cut it out myself. But I've got good insurance, so I shouldn't have to resort to that. And like I said, I got a really good doctor, and it's the first female doctor I've ever had, and the visit went real well. So I'm real comfortable with her, and so we're going to be trying some stuff. And yeah, we'll see how it works. I'll keep you guys posted, but that's the deal. It wasn't a torn muscle, and I sort of knew it wasn't. You know, you sort of know. I don't know if a lot of you guys have ever had this issue, but you know, it feels like there's something growing inside of you, basically. You know, it's hot right there, hot feeling, and tingling, like somebody's scratching the inside of your rib cage, but you can't itch it. And so the encouraging thing is, she said that a lot of times that they can shrink it down to where they don't have to surgically go in and do anything. So that's what I'm hoping for. I got it. They marked it yesterday. Yesterday was the first day that I got to see it. That's it right there, and it's about that. It's about that long. The X is the center of it, and thing just popped up. You know, luckily it popped up where I could feel it. And it wasn't somewhere where I couldn't see anything, so I was able to catch it early. So today we're gonna get out here and finish priming some of this other stuff. I'm just gonna, you know, go on with the normal. Get this Honda out of here. I spread the Bondo on there. I gotta knock it down because I didn't get back here until late yesterday, and stuff. So today I did follow up on the etch and the epoxy thing, because I'm really I'm happy that we're having the debate, and I'm happy that the guys on my channel are cool, you know, and we can learn together about this, and you know, check out different products and stuff. So the most popular item that was suggested to me was the Omnicoat and their epoxy primer. So what I did was I went down to my local store, my PPG store, which is Ben's, and they're a premium dealer, whatever that means. They're a premium store, and they can't sell the Omni. So they don't sell Omni there, even though it's a PPG brand. It's not one of the platinum brands. That's what it's called, a platinum store. So they suggested the shop line, and I told him I had bare steel, and he told me I wanted etch, not epoxy. If it was bigger than my hand, I needed to etch prime it first. So it's really funny, you know, the information you get depending on where you live and depending on your sales rep. But this guy was sort of bamboozled, and he actually went into some manual he had back there and then printed off these generic tech sheets for me at the end. But it says JP215 is a green, translucent, and acid etch primer, specially designed to provide excellent adhesion and corrosion resistance to properly prepared steel and aluminum. And I only recommend this product on fiberglass or, you know, priming over to filler. And the other thing very interesting that he told me, you can see where it says properly cleaned steel before you apply the etch. It says grease and wax remover on this sheet here, and he told me that he recommends cleaning it with a metal prep, PPG DX533, which is an acid etch without the spray on deal. You mix this stuff with water, wipe the metal down, and it actually puts an etch coat on the steel. And you do that after you sand it, and then put the etch on there. And he said that that's if it's bigger than your hand, basically just like what Matrix says. And that's the thing with PPG and Matrix. This is a Deltron toner. This is 817, and I can pour this right onto my machine, right in the can. And it's a direct replacement for Deltron DBC. Matrix is a copy of the DBC line, not the shop line or not the Omni. If I put a shop line toner on here, it wouldn't be compatible. But the DBCs are the Deltron. So our products pretty much mirror the PPG product. It's a copy. You know, the PPG guy quit, started Matrix, and that's how it goes. So this is what I was told to start with. If it's bigger than your hand, they said to use this etch. Here's the MP176 etch in the Omni line, and the JP215 etch in the shop line. So that's the same exact thing that the Matrix manual says when you go into the master manual, not the P sheet here. It says that, you know, it says basically about the same thing that this guy told me, because the two companies are, you know, copies of each other. So there you go. That's what I found out at my place. They recommended pretty much the same procedure that Matrix does. You know, he did say that the epoxy primer that they sell has some sort of corrosion protection in it. It's not like the chromate type, you know, that we used to use, but it does have some sort of a mild etch in it and a corrosion protection, he said. But for maximum protection against rust and corrosion, you'd want to start with the etch primer first. And it's a translucent primer, so it's just a very thin coat, like 0.8 of a mil. And so they recommend metal washing the car and hitting it with that after you get it back from the blaster, and then going with the epoxy primer over that for maximum adhesion. So so it looks like it just depends on the sales rep you got and how deep they dig. It took them about, it actually took them 20 minutes to dig up that information for me. And I questioned it. He said that you could just go with the epoxy at first. And then I told him, I said, well, so when I was at Toyota, we used the Global PPG, and that's a premium brand PPG. It's a step above the Deltron, and that's their premium line until you go into the water, the Enviro base. And we had an etch in place. We had to etch it. It was bigger than your hand. They wanted us to etch it first and then epoxy prime it. And when he dug into his book there, that's what he found with this stuff. You know, that's what he ended up recommending. A large piece of metal, you know, should be metal prepped first, cleaned, etched, and epoxy is the procedure that they wanted. And you know, that probably varies state to state, rep to rep, you know. But somewhere he was looking in a master catalog online, and then he went to a file cabinet to get the lowdown on the hoedown, and he printed those tech sheets offline and handed them to me. I thought it was very interesting that they don't sell Omni at the Platinum PPG stores. So I don't know what that's about. I always thought the Omni was a little better than the shop line, but he said no, the shop line's the premium to the Omni. So that's what I found out today, and that's what I found out the other day. So hopefully you guys are having a good day. I'll go throw this up. Now you guys know, now I know, and now we can get on with fixing it. So yeah, so I'm gonna keep doing the edge primer like I do. You know, I have to do it with the matrix because it says so in the catalog. And if I'm going to warranty any products, you know, or want to get a warranty, I have to have all those things in place. The other thing that I want to mention is some guys, a lot of guys sent epoxy primers over that weren't name brands. Like they weren't a paint brand, you know, they were an off brand. It just said epoxy primer and it was, you know, an off brand. That never works when you have to warranty something. If you're using shop line base, you want to probably use shop line etch and shop line epoxy. You don't want to use an epoxy that's not in the same family as the base coat and clear you're going to use, because if you have an issue, then you have a substrate issue. You know, the warranty will stop where their product stops. And chances are, if you mix the product line, you end up with no warranty 99% of the time. So that's one reason that I can't even consider an off-brand line epoxy, because what I was looking for is something that is a line, you know, somebody that offers the epoxy, the etch, the base coat, and the paint. You know, it's always best to do it in a system, I think. And I was going to try some of the Omni stuff. It's been a while since I've used it. I sprayed a little bit of their clear not too long ago, but I was going to try some of their products, but I can't get them. So that's a problem. I'm sure I could go online and find a supplier. The shop line stuff's available, and I've used the shop line stuff. I have shop line stuff in the cabinet over here, and I have the sealer. I've used some of their epoxy at the car lot, and I just don't like it. It's way too thin compared to the DBC line or the matrix. It takes too many coats. You got too many mils when you're done, and it's very transparent. You know, I find you can see there where some's dripped down the side of the can. You can read right through the stuff. There you go, right there. You can see how transparent it is to the label. And here's a similar color. You know, you can't see through it. And, that's how it is when you spray it. I mean, I wouldn't expect it to be like the DBC. It's their discount brand. So I don't care for that kind. I know a lot of guys like to use it, and a lot of guys turn out some fantastic work with it. And it goes back to, you got to use what you're comfortable with. You know, that's just the bottom line. That's what we're all going to do, isn't it? So anyway, let me shut this off. Get to work. I just got back from the warehouse. I got to mix some paint up over there for Andrea, make a delivery, then I can come back and play with this Hondaggler, get this Bondo knocked down, and I'll fire the Vigio up for some etch primer and some we're gonna go from the etch to the high build. I'm not putting any epoxy on this. Like I said, I don't use it too often unless I'm using it as a sealer. But that's the other thing with epoxy. It just doesn't, I don't know what the value is. You know, it doesn't have a lot of film build, so it's not something you can block and, you know, get any kind of fill out of. So it's you're basically using it just to protect the metal anyway. But anyway, that's where we're at. I'm gonna knock all this crap down. I'll come out here, and so we're gonna have to spread that fender a couple more times because it had a bigger dent than I thought in it. But that happens sometimes, you know. All right, let me shut this off. I'm rambling, and we'll talk to you guys later.